First year.
Right, so here we are. It's first week, and there's so much to do. The sun is shining, people are abnormally friendly, and your new colleagues bear a startling resemblance to the brochures. What a grand introduction to higher learning. Later that evening, you see that some of your floor chums are already having a party. Hey, you could give it the old college try, but, you realise that you're due a 1-hour conversation with your boyfriend on Skype. The party will have to wait. After all, you do have your first classes on the morrow, and that's what university is all about, right? Right. The next day you haul yourself out of bed and head to the lecture theatre. After spending 45 minutes talking about the syllabus, the professor introduces the concept of moral relativity, and your universe shatters. Enlightened, you call your soon-to-be ex and tell them it is just not going to work out. After fortifying yourself, you set about the business of getting involved at UBC. You join other clubs, get into some weird situations with some weird people, and generally have a freaky time. But before you know it, the fun stops. It's the middle of November, the rain hasn't stopped in days, and you have 3 midterms this week. Your diet progresses into a steady stream of coffee and junk food. Through the damp caffeine haze, you realise that one of your 100 level courses is pretty interesting, so you figure you're definitely going to major in it.
Second year.
Now it's the middle of June, and it's just you and the SSC. You've spent the last month watching in horror as your favourite class is filled up because your registration date was so late. You also didn't make the residence lottery, so you move into a fairly large house along with a handful of chums that you are reasonably acquainted with. That means you're now a denizen of the 99B line. During your commute to class, you happen to lock eyes with an acquaintance from Res. Wait, no, you were looking at something really interesting in the distance. No, you were sleeping. How could you acknowledge him if you're asleep? Nice work. In academics, you realise that what you wanted to major in before was actually mind-numbingly tedious. No matter, it's still early in the game. Let's try another. Let's take in your social life. You've discovered one of the clubs you've joined is actually pretty interesting. There's also a pretty lad there. This is all the incentive you need to run for an executive position there. Now it's time to obsessively check the SSC to make sure you didn't fail any of your classes. Gosh, you think to yourself, that was a close call. I'm certainly going to try harder next year.
Third year.
Over the summer break, you hooked up with that strapping fellow from the club that you now run. You decide to take an easy course load to make room for box socials and all the great plans you have. It is a fantastic time of moderate growth. You finally develop an ability to cook, get a job, and experience a profound yet liberating sense of disillusionment. University. Emboldened by your recent growth, you volunteer for the student paper, storm the wall, and mountain. All in all, it's a fine year until your boyfriend reveals that he plans to go on exchange next year. This puts a melancholic timer on your relationship.
Fourth year.
You sit in bed drinking wine and watching Netflix.
What are those Santa things? I don't know. But think about it, they were after us.
Fifth year.
The victory lap. Forget those posers who graduated in 4 years. You think of all the famous historical figures who took 5, 6, even 7 years to graduate. As a wizened elder statesperson on campus, you decide it's time to take those scoundrels in the AMS to task. You run as a joke candidate in the January elections and almost win. Phew, that was close. Enough of that. You can't wait to graduate and get out in the old workforce. You take one last elective, but it gives you a crisis of conscience. What if this discipline is what you wanted to study after all? You think about switching your major.
Second year.
Oh god damn it. It's nearly done. You finished that required 100 level class you forgot to take, and what's this? You've graduated. This is a time for celebration. Are you actually equipped to function in the real world? This is no time for such ludicrous thoughts. You did it! Good job.